I'm going to move around your Google Classroom as you see. We spoke about earlier, and this is one of my demo classrooms. Remember, teachers, you have unlimited classrooms that you can create. So even when you're sharing with your colleagues or other teachers how to get comfortable, this is a great way to do it. So right now in stream mode, I spoke earlier about how to get to certain things. One of the key components that you want to get to is your class code. Over to the right, about. You see your class code, it's unique. If I create another classroom, it'll have its special code. You cannot change your class code. That was a question that was brought up in one of my presentations. Also, to select a theme. Over to the right, now they have a gallery of different things that you can look at. Okay, I'll just change it just so you can see the difference. They have patterns as well. You see that? Now we have a brick background. A discussion that was made, people, why would you change the themes? Well, one of the things, if you have multiple classrooms and your students could be in different things, when you're doing classroom management, walking through the rooms, if you glance at their device, you can see instantly, ooh, wait a minute, they're in the wrong one. So if they got a hold of a code or you didn't change the code or they see it somewhere else, that's a quick way to manage that to make sure they're in the right room. Or they could be in one of their other Google Classrooms with a different teacher and think they're working on your assignment and saying, hey, why can't I find this? So that's a quick way, as well as for the students. So different things to do it that way. But that's your preference because they do have default. Again, they have patterns that you can go from, choose it that way. If you just say, oh, I just want certain colors. However you want to do it, that's up to you. Or you can upload photos. Just be aware that it is a certain size that it's looking for. You can drag, drop, or look on that device to get it there. The other thing is where most of the work that you're going to be doing is in Classworks. So remember here, this is where you do the creating. From the assignments. So as you go through, so can I have an assignment but go to multiple classes? Absolutely. So who's it for? You see one of my tests, but then I click here. I can select all of the different classrooms that I want it to go to if I did it that way or not. Okay. So it's for 2 classes, it tells you that. If it's for all the students or how many enrolled, you can enter that information, but that's optional. Don't let the point system throw you off. That's option as well, because you can also go ungraded. This is where your assignments to date. That means you can do it in advance. So you could work one day and schedule, when do I want this to come out? Da, 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 da. And you can set the time. That's optional and change those different things. So each grade that you can have a certain time that you want it to be released to those students. Now, creating a topic, we talked about that with different groups. That can help you to organize your lessons in units, all of those type of things. So I would advise you to have a topic to go through there. And then when you're talking about the assignment, again, are you assigning it now? Are you saving it for a draft as you're being creative, saying, hey, I want to save that later? Go on that way. So if I signed it out, boom, it's shooting it right there. Questions of materials. Same thing. What students do you want it for? Select. So you see that process. Is it all of your students or is it just certain ones? Enter your question. Points. Remember, it can be ungraded. You can have those type of things. But if it's short answer, multiple choice, you can select those. Do you want them to do that? Do you want students to be able to edit their answers? So after they submit, can they go through and say, ooh, I wanted to change that? That's where you have the option. Right now it's off. So once they submit, they can't change it. Okay? But if I wanted that, click that tab, boom, they can change that. To ask, to schedule, or send it as a draft, those are your different things that you want that. So if I wanted to ask that question to them, boom. Now it's sending it out. This is a test. That's their question. I don't have a post date, but it's showing when I created it and posted for the students. Material. Always want a title. So if you have resources that you want to create for them. And then again, I would advise if you have a topic for this, okay? Say PD for right now. And then the posting. Is it a scheduled post? Okay, so I said, ooh, I wanted to have it scheduled for September 18th. They can't see it until the posted time. Okay, I didn't have a due date to that. All of that was done in classwork. Also, here's your calendar. But you can't force things except for assignments that are due to the students. Now, your class drive folder. I can't express that enough. I tell teachers all the time, when you guys create, make sure that you're creating any of your files in Drive. But when you're using Google Classroom, you already are connected to Drive. So you can click right there and create your stuff so you don't have to step outside. So right now, I have no material in here. So it's in my Drive in a classroom folder that I have, okay? And then it's in that particular classroom. So each classroom will have its own folder for that. So then any new information, documents, slides that I'd want to create, I'd go there. You also have more. So if I said, hey, I'm going to add a Google form, create and share, then the title of that form, demo. So now in my folder, you see here, I have items there, resources, so I can create those different things for my students. So that's just a simple way to know it is there, so it helps you later when you're searching. In the session we had today, a person was asking, Ron, I use a lot of Microsoft Word. Can I store those in Google Drive? The answer is yes, and you can also share that. Just know when they download, it's not a collaborative piece that way, but you can definitely share that as well. So if you already have material, PDFs or Word files, you can definitely save them and send them out and assign them to your students. It's just not quite the same as when you're using Google Docs. We talked about people, how you can add teachers, students, but here's how you get to settings. Okay, you can change the name of your classroom. You can add descriptions, sections, room number, subject, more detail from there. Some teachers, and rightfully so, don't want their students to be able to comment. Some of the reasoning, they might dig at one another, but also know that any type of digital citizenship, you have a certain code that's within your district. So let them know at some point in time, do we teach students how to work out their bad judgment of different things? I'd rather for them to experience that in school than once they get out into society, at a workplace, university and things like that, because things will come much harder. But as we train them to understand what is acceptable and what's not acceptable, just something to think about. But you can also select that only the teacher can post and comment. And starting off the year, I'd probably be like that until you get established of what you expect from your students and going from there. So these are the different things. Only the teacher can view and delete items, okay? So they could be, once they submit it, you're the only one. And then guardian, to give a summary. Do you want them to have access to your classroom of what's been going on? That's what you do. So that is what's going on when you're utilizing classrooms. Hopefully this is helping you guys out. Thanks again.